You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.
Thank you for listening to Community Forum. My name is Johnny Chandler, the owner of KCCC 930 AM and the host of Community Forum. And with me today is Mary Garwood. Mary Garwood's the Keep Carlsbad Beautiful director. We've had her on multiple times, but you're a staple on the program, so thanks again for coming on.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
So every year we're going to do this. We're going to talk about Riverblitz. So let's talk about Riverblitz like now at the beginning, and then we'll also recap it kind of at the end of the program so everybody knows how to help and the best places for information. But Riverblitz this year, real exciting. What day is it this year?
This year it's going to be Saturday, March 4th, and it's going to be from 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock. So just 4 hours, about 4 hours.
To 11 a.m., right?
Right.
Okay, perfect. And let's get the important thing out of the way. I do believe that food is going to be provided, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm excited this year. The Eddy County Sheriff's Posse is going to come back, and they're going to be cooking up hamburgers and hot dogs. We'll also have some extras for those of us that don't eat meat, for vegan and other gluten-free. And I it's kind of funny because that's just what we live in nowadays. So we've kind of just adapted to it.
Right.
So whatever going to take to get you to come out and volunteer is what we want to make it happen. So we'll have options for everybody. We'll have a dessert afterwards, and we're just excited to have the sheriff's posse back out and able to cook for us, since COVID is kind of not in the forefront anymore.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. They have big grills they bring out too, don't they? They do this pretty professionally.
Yes, they come out in full fashion. They've got the trailer, they've got the grills. I mean, it's really impressive, and they always come out and have a good time. They're always fun to socialize with, and they have a good time cooking it up, and it's just always a good morning when they're out there.
Yeah, I have to agree completely. And then the free food, of course. So Riverblitz, March 4th, that's down on the what side of the river is that on? Is that over by the gazebo side and the beach side?
No, it'll actually be at the Riverwalk Rec Center over on
Muscatine.
And just come out and we'll be set up inside. Like I said, now that COVID's kind of in the back on the back burner, I'm sure some people still are affected, but now that we're able to gather again, we're going to be back inside and setting up, and come out and get your supplies, all of the gloves, bags. Well, we have some t-shirts. I don't know that everybody will get one, but try to get there early so you're in line early to get all the giveaways that we have. And just come out and for a couple of hours of picking up trash, and come back and we'll feed you.
So what are the boundaries that you guys pick up, right? Is it all the way down to basically like across the street from Lowe's in that area? Where the river kind of starts under the flume, and then all the way down, or where do you guys focus on?
We actually go out even further than that. There's Brantley Lake. We've got Diving Rock. We've got Higby Hole south of town. We've got Highway 31 Bridge. We've got 6 Mile Dam. I'm sure the Chutes is a popular place to pick up trash. Lake Avalon is we've got a group coming from ConocoPhillips, headed up by Michelle Robertson, who is she's a local. She's always helped with Riverblitz. She's actually the editor of the Focus magazine now.
Yeah.
We've just got groups coming from all over to pick up these places, because a lot of them are recreational spots that people like to fish. They go out to hunt, they go to shoot guns, they go out to swim, of course. They do a bunch of stuff all up and down our river. And of course, not everybody takes, care of that, unfortunately. So so here we are in our 24th year holding a Riverblitz. I always kind of say in my presentations and talks about it, I would love to work myself out of having to hold these events, but we keep coming back to show that people care, and to help pick up the slack, because not everybody does the right thing. But it's always a good group of people that come out. There's a core group that Michelle Perry, Rick Wiedemann, Bill Weston. We've got a few that come out every single year, show their hands, put a group together, and come out and spend the morning, just giving back to the community and giving back to, more than just the community, to the Southeast New Mexico, so it's always a good time. I can't explain how rewarding it is to see people come together and care, and then to know that we've gotten our area cleaned up.
Yeah, you're right. It's certainly everywhere. Unfortunately, plastic bags and the wind is not helpful. But people just don't really seem to have the regard, I believe, that they used to maybe a while ago, even when it came to making sure that the plastic bag doesn't fly into some foliage or green stuff. You know what I mean? It gets stuck there because when you drive around in some places, it's pretty bad. Actually,
it is undeniably, and I believe COVID just kind of put fast forward on that, with all of the single-use plastics that came into, our hands, because everybody does want to be cautious and clean. It's just a matter of that follow through with being responsible with your waste, and that doesn't always seem to happen. So here we are. Unfortunately, I don't see Riverblitz going away anytime soon, or our community cleanups that we hold through the year. We're trying to do the best we can to keep up with everything, but it's a full-time job.
Well, we live in like a single-use society, right? Like everything is to be used once, basically, and then moved on, right? And as a result of that, you create more waste in general. So can I ask you an opinion? And so, do you think that single-use plastic bags are the problem? And I will say that I never really use it just once, right? I use it for like the bathroom trash and then picking up stuff and little trash. So, I mean, it gets more than one use, but are the bags the problem, or without singling any individuals out, of course, are the people kind of the problems with the way that they take care of them?
I think it's kind of a mixture of both. What I don't know how many cleanups I've done that maybe go quicker than I think that they will, because, hey, we pick a side of the highway or something that has plastic bags. It may not have, a bunch of the littler items, straws, napkins, little things, cups. But the bag itself, because it's bigger than the average piece of trash, it makes it look worse.
Right.
So whenever you're out there on a cleanup or you're planning a time, sometimes the majority of it is just bags. And once you get the bags cleaned up, everything looks fine. But yeah, we need to be responsible for the waste that we create. Just imagine, yes, you're going to use that coffee cup, at your hotel or whatever coffee shop you frequent. You have to make sure that ends up in a container, in a waste bag, and to make sure that it's not going to fly off, that it's secured. I don't think we have a bunch of people that throw things in the back of their trucks, and I don't blame necessarily industry. I blame it being an increase in people, especially here lately. Yes, we have had more people come to Carlsbad and move in for oil field or for whatever industry that they are. I know most of it's oil field, but I have to look at events like Riverblitz and the Keep Carlsbad Beautiful program that have been around for years. Riverblitz itself and Keep Carlsbad Beautiful have been around for 24 years, give or take with Keep Carlsbad Beautiful. But that was without the oil boom,
Right.
It just comes to a people problem. With more people will be more trash, more people are going to generate more trash, just like more people are going to use more water, more people are going to use more trash, more people are going to use more electricity, more gas. It just all goes hand in hand, and it's how we deal with it that, shows how important it is to us. So we're trying to do the best we can with holding cleanups and promoting as many messages as we can. I know me, myself, and I am a one-person department, but on a lot of the efforts of the committee and partners like you, to help spread the word, just to be clean, and that we have places, we have the convenience station, we have the Sandpoint landfill. We've got so many ways to dispose of your trash, more than the average city or municipality, and even county for that matter. We have so many ways that illegal dumping and litter just should not exist, but it does. And, so like I said, it's kind of half and half, but it is a people problem.
Right. You just got to, I think you guys make it really easy. Like I said before, the city of Carlsbad makes it very easy to not litter, very easy to get rid of that extra trash or the extra large item trash, personally. Yeah. And I think, obviously, Mary, I think you do a really good job. Anytime I want you to come on your program, you're available. So that within itself means you're doing a good job. So you mentioned Riverblitz is 24th year for Riverblitz, and then Keep Carlsbad Beautiful has been around just pretty much about the same time, correct?
Pretty much about the same time, yes. Wanda Welch and Deanna Taylor, who I know many of the listeners will know, did the program for, on a voluntary basis. They worked under Mayor Bob Forrest and Gary Perkowski and Mayor Janway many years as a volunteer, trying to beautify Carlsbad by holding cleanups and planting trees and, starting the Friendship Park project and Millennium Park over by the rec center. And not to mention all the hundreds of hours that they spent, just networking and educating people and really just living out what they were preaching, which is, I don't know. I tried to do the best I can. They had really, really big shoes. They did a great job. That I'm not them. And I just have the most tremendous respect for them. I love both of those ladies.
You have the same enthusiasm that they do, for certain. And I think you're a one-man trash picker, actually, a one-person trash picker, right? You were just single-handedly cleaning up the city most of the time. I don't think there's anywhere that you go where you don't stop and pick up some litter that you may see. So you do Riverblitz 24/7.
I try. I really do, because I figure we're all walking into a building. It doesn't take but a second to stop and pick something up. And, there's usually hand sanitizer somewhere. You can run in and you wash your hands real quick. I'm not saying pick up dirty diapers barehanded, but if there's a cup or, something that you can grab real quick, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Right. Absolutely. So the thing is, you're joining us over the phone today. We are recording this on President's Day, so only a few days ago. But so you're joining us on phone from Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And so what are you doing in our nation's capital?
I am here for the Keep America Beautiful conference. It happens once a year. The last couple of years have been in Washington, D.C. We get together and kind of update each other and just network with one another to, find ways that we can improve our community.
So that includes a bunch of workshops and sitting in maybe some lectures and things of that nature on how to improve recycling, essentially, or just the environment in general.
Yeah, the environment in general. Basically, our three goals are to end littering and beautify communities and to improve recycling. So those are our three program goals, and we network with one another to kind of we hear each other's ideas and what's working. I might tell somebody about Riverblitz or a partnership that I have with someone in my community, and they might take that idea and go and do it theirs. Just like I might listen to something that works in somebody's community and try to take it back and modify it for Carlsbad.
Right.
So we have a lot of fun doing that. It's kind of interesting to hear how people really network and the connections that they have or maybe don't have in their city. In Carlsbad, I'm always very thankful that, I do know my city councilors. I know my county commissioners. I know my leaders. And sometimes when I hear of other people's stories, I'll be amazed. They don't know their city councilors. They're having a hard time getting support from, whoever they have to go through. And I'm always amazed because sometimes I do get on little pity parties like, why aren't things moving faster? Or why can't we get this cleaned up or that? Or, and then I hear these other stories and I think, okay, maybe I don't have it so bad.
Right.
So,
The grass is not always greener, right?
No, it's definitely not. No, some people really, really struggle.
On what feels like such a no-brainer policy as well anyways. And those seems like three very admirable goals, right? So stop littering, beautify your community, and then what was that third one again?
To improve recycling.
Oh, improve recycling. Yeah, that's always something that we can work on. So tell me a little bit about how many years have you been going to this Keep America Beautiful conference?
So this one will be my 7th one, going since I started. It, I feel like, gosh, it's every year it gets better, and every year it changes in its own way. We have people come and go. I remember my first conference, I really didn't know anybody. I had to break out of my shell and start talking. We got set at different tables with people, and we always do projects, whether it's sitting down with markers and how icebreakers are, and now I'm more one of the seasoned affiliate members, and I see the new people and I think I was just
Right.
We
You
try
can
to
they can stop walking around all nervous now, right? Like just feel
yes,
comfortable and let's brainstorm and exchange ideas.
yes, and just kind of own it now. So it's really cool to be on this end of it now because, man, the 7-8 years has gone really fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you ever been to DC before? I guess you have, right? You said this is the second year they've had it in DC. So you went last year as well?
Yes, we were here last year. It was a real modified conference, but what was really nice about last year's conference was that COVID really put us I mean, we were in a room. Of course, we had to wear the masks and everything, but it really tapered it down to where we were more one-on-one with the Keep America Beautiful leaders. The executive director and they have an outreach team all across the country. So we were more face to face and one on one with those people. So we were able to voice our concerns, voice our suggestions for the program, and just make those. And it was just really nice because some conferences have been so big that we don't really have that time to network with each other, with the leaders anyway. So last year's conference was really, really nice. And I expect that to be more this year too, more on a smaller but more intimate scale. So I don't know, the leaderships that we have right now are really, really good. I think they're the strongest I've seen since I've started this.
So the conferences, that's great. I think that's obviously a very good thing. So let me ask you a question when it comes to this conference. Since you're in your 7th year, can you tell us something that you have learned, right, or benefited from, or you believe the city of Carlsbad has benefited from as a result of you being in one of those conferences? So basically, what was like a great idea that you heard and then started implementing back here?
Definitely taking a hold of social media. I know that seems like a no-brainer nowadays, talking about it here in 2023. Whenever I first started, I was just kind of going by word of mouth. I'd show up to meetings, kind of do this and that. And it was just like, hey, we need to get on this social media. We need to be as present as we can be, get posts, get people involved, put the information out there, get it in their faces, stay fresh. Again, like I said, I'm a one woman show, so I'm not completely, I haven't been able to, utilize what I could if I had a team of people. But getting just people involved, promoting the 311 system, The first year that I came to a conference, I heard a presentation out of Denton, Texas that has a 311 program. And well, we have a 311 program too in Carlsbad. And I thought, oh my gosh, I really, really need to promote that because
Right.
people think they don't have a voice. Well, they do. Like, let's get that information out there. And that's one of the biggest things I've seen turn around since. That's really benefited Carlsbad is really promoting that 311 line and getting that understanding that people can just call in. You can stay anonymous. You can report something, and it will get to the hands of the right people.
Right. So the 311 program here in Carlsbad, you can call 311 from a landline, but you have to call a different number from your cell phone.
Right. You
Okay.
have to do 575-887-1200.
Okay. That's just as easy as 311 in my opinion. But either way, 311 from a landline or 887-1200 from your cell phone. And I agree with you that it's an absolute great program or a great service because you can call, leave some information. City of Carlsbad's so responsive anyways. It's the best way to call if you need the claw to come pick up any fall waste or anything that you're about to get rid of for the spring season as well.
Right.
And isn't it on the side of the trash cans? Didn't we talk about that once?
It is. It's actually on the side of the trash can. Whenever you have an issue with your solid waste, barrel, anything, just give it a call. The number's right there on the barrel.
Perfect. So we have talked about what you learned and what you brought back from one of the conferences that you think benefited the city as well as your position a lot. Have you learned anything about like what not to do? Right. So Denton, Texas gives you a presentation on utilizing 311 more and how to really make that work for the community when it comes to keeping the community beautiful. But do they give any presentations or have you learned anything that's like, oh, don't do that? Like here's a red flag, a caution that we should not have done.
Right. Well, I actually have the first one comes to mind. Actually, it involves social media again. There was an affiliate out of, I believe it was Boca Raton, Florida, that did some kind of business shaming on their social media. And I don't know, the lady said that it just became kind of a free for all on there because they are operated by the city of, you'll have to forgive me if it's not Boca Raton, but that city holds, can't delete messages, everything ends up becoming public record. So it just kind of became a free for all when they would do it. At first it started out, it was supposed to be a motivator for, say, trashy business, on whatever street, and they're pointing it out that their weeds are high, their parking lot's dirty, this and that, and it just went south really, really fast over the time that they had that. So they did a trial and realized that wasn't the way to do it. And Keep America Beautiful doesn't really endorse that behavior either. We're here to be a liaison between everybody, to educate people, to, you can voice concerns, but be respectful. So it was kind of interesting to see because they pulled up some examples of some name calling that went on and this and that. So I just made it a note to myself that that's not the avenue that we want to take in Carlsbad. We want everybody to of course live together, but also understand that it's important to be clean. You don't want to be that nasty restaurant that nobody wants to go to because their parking lot is dirty, or that grocery store that could do better, but it's important to take care of your property, and you do have a reputation. So in considering that should make you want to do the right thing.
So public shaming campaign is not the way to go.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do a smear campaign.
Since we're talking about businesses, and you guys award a yard of the quarter. What did you say that again? Or business of the quarter? However what's that program you guys do?
Right, the business of the quarter. So we're doing 4 times a year. We're picking out businesses that are exceptional in their aesthetics, and we're just acknowledging that, putting it out on Facebook, and just saying thank you for being clean and beautiful.
So we don't shame, we promote and we encourage, right? That's the message.
Exactly.
What was the last business that won? Can you tell me?
The last one that won was Cavern City Orthodontics.
Oh yeah, okay.
be on our agenda next month to vote for the next one.
Okay. And so that segues really perfectly into the public meetings that you have. I think it's once a month as well, right? And how people can participate in that.
Yes, every third Thursday of the month at 11 o'clock, we have a beautification meeting. It's the Mayor's Beautification Committee meeting. And everybody's welcome. I always say it's a good avenue to get involved with the city. If you have a concern or a question, if that person or that question doesn't get addressed, chances are somebody there is going to know the person to get a hold of to get it addressed. So it's a good spot to come in and just hear what we're all about, what the city is about. It's a good time for networking.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So we're getting pretty close to time. Is there anything else? Well, we'll do at the end is we'll let you do some closing statements and remind us all of Riverblitz. But in honor of you being in Washington D.C. on President's Day, I wanted to ask you a few President's Day trivia questions. Since you're there, I assume you know them. Are you okay with that?
I will give it my best shot.
Okay. All right. So, what year was George Washington born?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I'm starting off really hard, by the way.
Well, we were a country, 1776. So I'm going to go with 1752.
Oh, 1732.
Oh, my gosh. I was 20 years. Hey.
Yeah. You had the right last number. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And so here's a real interesting fact, I think, right? So President's Day technically does not exist. On the official books within the U.S. government, it's Washington's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so it was kind of changed to President's Day because President Lincoln and President Washington were both born in February. And it kind of splits right in the middle of everything.
Oh, okay. Yes. I think I've heard that before.
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting. And then can you tell me what year the Washington Monument was completed?
Oh my gosh. It was completed. I know it was started because half of the bricks are different than the top bricks. Oh gosh. I'm going to go with like 1889.
Oh, it's 1884. But that is very close. I give you a lot of credit for that one. And then so interestingly enough, Mark Twain commented on the half-finished Washington Monument, saying it looked like a hollow, oversized chimney in 1861. And it was basically started years before 1861, and then the Civil War and everything got in the way, which makes sense, And then they didn't finish it until 1884. So I thought that was very, very interesting. And there's one more thing. There's also two other presidents that are born in the month of February.
Uh-huh.
That's Ronald Reagan and William Harrison.
Okay.
I didn't even know that guy was William Harrison was a president. I did not know that. So that's my little bit of trivia since you'll be walking around D.C. getting some inspiration for our federal government with all the monuments.
Well, I didn't realize, we were here last year, but the Hilton that we're staying at is the same Hilton that Ronald Reagan got shot.
Oh.
And you go just out the doors, there's a plaque on the wall, and we pulled up the video, and yeah, sure enough, it's the same Hilton. So it's a little bit of history that I'm staying in.
Well, it's all fascinating, especially if you like history. It's all very good. So let's go ahead and tell us. Let's finish up here with more the Riverblitz information again, so people can volunteer and help out. The Facebook page as well. And then closing thoughts after that. So go ahead and start us off on that.
Okay, so we will be having our 24th annual Riverblitz event on Saturday, March 4th from 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock. Have everybody come out to the Recreation Center at 400 Riverwalk Drive. Cleanup supplies will be handed out. We'll have water, we'll have gloves, bags, everything you need to do the cleanup. Lunch will begin at 11 o'clock. and it'll be cooked by the sheriff's posse. We're excited to have them back, of course. Just come out and give a couple hours back to the community, help get our community cleaned up and our Pecos River. We pride ourselves so much on what we have to offer, and there's so many improvements that have happened recently, that we want it clean and beautiful for visitors and the residents to enjoy. Um, just come spend a morning with us, and we'll feed you for doing so.
All right. Any other closing statements?
No, just thank you for having me, and thank you for the community for all of your support for Keep Carlsbad Beautiful. It's been a really good run, and just every day, every year, something else, just gets better. So I appreciate all the volunteers and all the well wishers and the people that come out to do the work, and people that share information and express concerns. It takes a community to do this.
Well, Mary, thank you. Enjoy your trip, because as soon as you get back, we're going to have to help you clean up the community with Riverblitz. It's not going to be very long.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, once again, thank you. Keep Carlsbad Beautiful on Facebook is a great resource to learn everything that you need. You can also get everything that you talked about as well. Mary's coming back with the latest, greatest technology and information on keeping our community beautiful after this trip. So thanks again for taking the time out on your trip. And I hope you learn a lot, and I hope you can teach people a lot.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks, Mary. Have a good one.
You too.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.